Hey guys, I'm Chris, and you're watching Ready to Die Fighting. And today I just wanted to talk a little bit about something that I usually don't talk about on this channel. And that is, I'm black and Native American and poor and a single mom. And most of the time, there's a lot of talk I see in various forums and places about how, different organizations making efforts to get more people of color out in the trails, and how, because of costs and accessibility and things like that, a lot of outdoorsy stuff isn't really accessible to inner city people, and, all that type of stuff. And I usually steer away from that just because, I don't know. I don't really have anything to say to add to it, I guess, typically. But today, I was just in REI. REI is one of my favorite stores. I love just hanging out there. The people are always so friendly. They've got cool stuff. The prices are a little higher than what you might be able to find on Amazon, but their return policy is amazing, and the customer service is great. And I'd much rather give them my money than Amazon. If it's a couple, I'd rather give them an extra couple bucks for that service. And I have never felt like I never felt any racism or anything like that. I've actually never had any bad experiences on the trails or at any outdoors event that I've gone to, or adventure or whatever. At least not due to my race or gender or anything like that. But today, I was just buying a couple little things. I bought a sit pad because we've been doing a lot of hiking, and we're going on a little bit longer hikes, and I bought another little bag here just to help keep things nice and organized. And I spent more money than I should have yesterday, and I missed these two items. Or at least I didn't realize I needed these two items. And so we're planning on doing a little day hike, and sit down and have lunch Saturday out in the woods, and test out this stove I got, I think, last summer, or maybe even 2 summers ago, and I never used it. I completely forgot about it. And so I came in to buy this stuff, and as I was going to pay for it, I reached into my wallet, and I'm sorting through my various cards, and my bridge card fell out. So I'm one of those poor people, one of those food stamp moms or whatever. And for 1 or 2 seconds, the thought occurred to me, what the hell are you doing in REI? You don't belong here. You're a poor single mom. You have no right to be spending your money on silly camping stuff, and you can't even afford to buy your kids groceries without government help. That thought entered my mind for 2-3 seconds. Now, it obviously didn't stop me from buying anything, and it won't stop me from buying whatever I want with my money, regardless of how I get. But the stigma and the I don't even know what to call it. I don't know if it's not necessarily oppression, but just the way things are set up, these barriers. I'm very confident in myself. I don't know where I get this confidence from, because I really shouldn't be, considering, I shouldn't be as confident as I am. I don't know that I have enough going on that warrants the confident levels that I have. But I am, and I've never really cared what other people think, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. But not everyone's like that. And when I read about the barriers to people getting outside, that may have been a barrier to other people. And it's not something I normally think about. And maybe it's not something that you guys think about. And it made me really sad. Like, what if that feeling is what's keeping people in the city and keeping people from exploring the outdoors and having adventures. And because even though I talk a lot about survival and prepping and all that type of stuff, it's really about having fun and having adventures with my boys and with my dogs and with you guys. And the thought that something like a stigma or a stereotype or just an idea that you don't belong here could be keeping people away from this, it made me really sad, because we have so much fun, and it's so good for you. I remember many times, but I'm thinking of one time in particular, I was in a terrible mood. I don't remember why I was in such a terrible mood, but I was. I was in a horrific mood. I was hanging out with my friends. We were out in the woods in Vermont, and honestly, I was being a bitch. I don't know why I was so crabby. But my friend was like, let's go take a walk. And I grabbed her daughter and put her on my back. She was probably like 3 at the time. And I just took off running through the woods, up and down the mountains with this little girl on my back. And immediately, just that fresh mountain air and being in the woods, just racing through the woods like some kind of crazy jungle woman or something. And this little girl giggling and laughing, just having the time of her life. My mood completely shifted. It was like pushing a reset button. My boys, I don't like to talk about this, but they both have special needs. ADHD, oh my God, the ADHD in those two. It's insane. And sometimes just, at first they didn't like it. They didn't want to go out into the woods. They thought it was weird and creepy, especially since a lot of times I take them in the dark or right as starting to get dark. And, at first they hated it, but every time I brought them out there, they'd complain. But once we got out there, they loved it. And there's just something about the peace and just burning off that energy and the fresh air and getting out of the house, getting out of the city, getting out of it. It does something for everyone that I've ever seen. I've never seen anyone go out into the woods and go for a walk. And unless something horrible happens, but just go for a walk on a sunny day and come back in a bad mood. That just doesn't happen. And so I don't really know what the point of this video is. I don't have a solution. I don't really have suggestion or anything. It's just, I guess I just want to let people know, it's like everybody, the outdoors belongs to all of us. Every single one of us. All of us. All of our ancestors thrived on, if not this land, a land somewhere, on this planet. This is what we were not born to live in cities and drive in cars and breathe in smog and work in a little cubicle. That's not what we evolved to do. That's not what we were created to do, whichever you believe. That's not who we are. That's not what we're about. We're supposed to be out in fresh air, amongst trees or deserts or snow or whatever type of climate you come from. But we're supposed to be outside. It belongs to every single one of us. And it doesn't matter how much money you make or what you look like or your gender or orientation or if you have a disability or whatever. This earth is for all of us. This air is for all of us. This water is for all of us. And get out there. Get out there and appreciate it. You don't have to spend a ton. I spend far more than I should for gadgets and gizmos and little sacks and all that. But you don't have to. And at REI, that guy saw my bridge card. He didn't give me a judging look or anything. It was all internal. It was all stuff that I had internalized, from people saying, single moms and welfare moms, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no. Outside is for everybody. So get out there. Don't let anybody say that you don't belong, because you do. You do. You got to learn how to get comfortable out there. You need to learn how to do it safely. Watch my channel. I'll share some tips on how to do that. Maybe I'll do like a hiking or camping for beginners type of thing. And even if I don't, there's plenty of other people who do that stuff. So just get outside. Don't let that be the reason that you stay in the house. Like and subscribe. Share this video with anyone who you think needs it. And I will see you guys next time.